Hi there. I'm an operator, and as an operator, I must always have my trusted psychic with me. Yes, for me there really is no other than the beautiful FDL. A fierce machine which I must have with me at every fierce battle. This bad boy and I have seen a lot of challenges in our time, none of which we could not overcome. Ah, a letter. Congratulations on your last mission at Battle Squad. You have a new mission. At 3 p.m. you must eliminate all players from the opposite team at Battle Squad. However, this is a delicate mission and there will be new players on the field. So no FTL. So what am I supposed to use? My hands?
Hey Battle Squad, welcome to our second episode. Today we have a no FDL game. So we have newbies coming to the game and all the veterans have been told to put down their FDLs, and that's exactly what we are doing. I'll be on the Jupiter, which is my favorite secondary blaster but not my favorite primary. It's going to be quite the challenge, especially because I want to see if I can take out the entire team just with my Jupiter. So let's discuss the Jupiter. I'm going to go through the pros and the cons of the blaster for anyone out there who's interested or looking to get one. Alright, let's get the price out of the way. The Jupiter is a very expensive blaster. It is $99 US to purchase it, but in Australia, after shipping and the currency conversion, I ended up paying over $200 for the blaster, just a bit over $200. That's including the battery. Not to mention the mags. I purchased 3 genuine Nerf rival 12 dart mags and they were really expensive. I paid $35 each. So just 3 of them cost me over $100. Then after that, I tried the $6 cheap knockoff eBay magazines. They appear to work just as well, but I had a few feeding issues, which some of the players mentioned it might be because of the knockoff magazines. So I laid off them a bit and I've started using the genuines. Alright, so let's talk about the positives of the blaster. It's a fully automatic flywheel blaster. Now you know that I absolutely adore the flywheel pistols. I like them a lot more than any Springer pistol out there because I like to be able to wield my pistol with one hand while I still have maybe an FDL in the other hand. I love that feature about it. I love the fact that you can carry mags with you and reload, which you cannot do with most other Springer blasters. When you're looking at the Chronos, when you're looking at the Hammer Shot, all of those, you need to take darts separately and load them one by one every time you finish. With the Jupiter, you get 12 darts shot in about 2 seconds and you get to reload immediately, which is just wonderful. Another thing that I really like about the Jupiter is the rev trigger. I really prefer a rev trigger than having a single trigger. It gives me a lot more control and I can pre-rev my motors before I expose myself, which I really like. Now let's talk about the cons. The Jupiter is really big. It's definitely the biggest secondary pistol blaster that I've ever owned, so it can be quite difficult to holster it. I had to purchase a holster and modify it to fit the Jupiter. Another con about the Jupiter is the mags are really big, so they can be quite difficult to holster them. I had to procure small clips that I think are suitable. You can opt for the 7 dart magazines or the proton pack, I've never used them, so I can't speak on them. The 7 dart magazines are too small for my likings, so I chose the 12 dart magazines, but they're a lot bigger. The other con about the Jupiter is the accuracy. It is not an accurate blaster. You have to be about 5 to 7 meters if you want to have any sort of consistency with your darts. They are very unpredictable, they hit all over the place, it's not very good to aim with. And also my Jupiter shoots 8 darts a second. That's a bit too fast for me. I know you can get the 6 darts per second. I couldn't find it when I was buying it, but even that is probably quite a bit. I would love to see something like 4 darts a second, because with 8 darts a second, you have to be careful. You can finish your magazine without realizing in a blink of an eye. So that to me is a con, but I think a lot of people might like that feature. I don't, that's just my personal opinion about the blaster. And the fact that it has poor accuracy and a very high rate of fire is why I don't think the Jupiter is a very good primary. It will never be able to compete with an FTL or even a Prophecy or a Longshot, an Exus, any of those as a primary. It just won't. The mag system is too awkward, the accuracy is not good enough, and you're always going to be out of darts when you need it, because in FTL you can carry up to 25 mags if you really wish. So it's just such an advantage, and that accuracy and the ability to control your rate of fire, it's so useful, which the Jupiter just simply does not have. That's why I like to use the Jupiter as a secondary, not a primary. And it makes sense because it's so light and you can carry it with you all the time. And when you're desperate and your primary is out, that's when you pull it out. That's when I pull it out. The other thing about the Jupiter is that you can actually jam it quite easily. The way you jam it is a dart gets pushed past the pusher, but not past the flywheels, and it gets stuck there. And when you rev the motors, they don't have the power to rev up and they overheat immediately, and you can smell it. And you do that 4 to 5 times and those motors will seize up and they are no more. So I've had to replace my motors. I even bought a backup cage because I worried that the heat from the motors would actually melt the cage out of shape. I don't know if that's a fault with the Jupiter or it might be a fault with the mags that I'm using, the eBay mags. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are using the Jupiter, make sure there is no dot stuck past the pusher when you rev that trigger, or it might be a very costly mistake. So let's wrap up. Do I recommend the Jupiter? If you have the money to spend, yes. There are a lot of cool new secondaries coming out which you can keep an eye out for, but I have never regretted buying the Jupiter. I absolutely love it. And that will be the challenge for today. I will be using the blaster, which I do not like to use as a primary, and I will be attempting a very difficult task, taking out the entire opposite team. So we'll see if I can do it. Alright, let the mayhem begin. So, nice. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, it's really good. I've tried it once.
Sweet.
Good?
Yeah, sorry about that.
I can at least look through it.
Yeah.
Make sure you put it up into your shot.
Is this the one that comes in?
So, would you guys like to go together in the same team or separate teams?
Put it together.
Yeah, no problem. Too easy.
It works, dude. It is so accurate, it's not funny.
Okay, so we are about to start. Are you guys ready? Cool. Alright, no worries. Alright, I'm just gonna come over here because I don't want the opposite team to know what I'm up to. Because if they find out that my plan is to take out the whole team, they will not let off me. They will watch me like a hawk. So, we're about to start. The opposite team has 3 players, we have 4 players, so we do have an advantage, but they have really good blasters. They have a Prophecy, they have a Retaliator, and they have a Recon, so we'll see how that goes. You guys ready? Cool. All right, here we go. We have the Jupiter right. Oh. This is fun. This is the first time I've ever done a completely Jupiter run. Thank you. We got Matt and we have Greg over there. So Matt's coming after me. He has a prophecy, so it makes no sense for me to just stay here. Damn, that thing shoots hard. Yep. No, I'm playing.
I did get you on the side there.
Yeah, I felt that. Sorry, Matt.
I thought you were filming.
No. Sorry, Matt. I thought you knew. I did it straight away. My first go. Used 2 magazines. Took on the whole team. Matt didn't know that I was playing, so he actually didn't shoot me. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna count that. Let's see if we can do that again. Let's see how many times we can do that. That was really fun. Maybe the Jupiter is more capable than I realize. Alright, I'm going to try to not get too cocky. Whoa! Oh, good shot, Matt. Woo! Oh yeah, I'm out. Yeah, felt that, no problem. Just did it a second time. Didn't know I could do that. Hey? Nothing. Okay, I was wrong about the Jupiter. It's way better than I thought. It's light, so it's very nimble, and I can do pretty cool things with it. So let's see if we can do that again a third time. All right, a third time. Right. Yep. Yeah, good job, good job. I have 2 mags left. I'm just having so much fun with this that it's really disappointing when I run out of mags because I never realized how fun this thing is. I love this thing, it's so much fun. It's underpowered, it's not accurate, It has terrible range. It has too few darts, but it's so much fun because it just gives you that challenge. You know you have to push yourself further and further to get those kills. And I just love that. It gives me such a rush. Are you alright, Greg? You alright, Greg?
You're out of ammo!
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm already out of mags. I had about 8 mags. I've used them up like this. And after I use up my mags, I don't know what to do because I don't have a second blaster. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and be a bit more careful. Matt spotted me. I just need to use cover better. Yeah, good shot. I got you twice as well. Yeah. Thank you. The Jupiter is really powerful against springers, but it does struggle against the flywheels. Alright, good shot, leg shot. I am all out of darts. Woo! Are you in today? Yeah. Got you one.
You got me one. Are you out?
I'm out now, yeah. So that's what I mean. In the end, I ended up resorting to throwing darts at people because the Jupiter throws so many darts. I'm already out. So I'm not sure what to do. So from now on, I'm just going to go to stealth. Just going to try and tag people out. So this will be very interesting. See you, Jupiter. Okay. Using your hands, not as effective as the Jupiter. So that was good. That was good. Whoa. I'm out of darts. So I'm using a Jupiter and I'm out of darts. Do you see the irony in that? Yeah, one's in the back. Ah, okay. I got tag teamed.
Oh, really? Oh. I think he's surrendering. He's got it. Actually, if I take that,
Okay. I got one kill. I got one tag.
Alright, that went a lot better than I expected. The Jupiter is... I was wrong about the Jupiter. So wrong. Sorry, Mr. Luke Outofdarts, but your Jupiter is a lot better than I thought it was. Even though I've been using it for half a year, I have been underutilizing it, let's say.
What a day. So much happened. I set the challenge for myself to take out the opposite team in its entirety at least once. And I thought it was going to be impossible with the Jupiter because, what did I say? I said that it's not an accurate blaster, the rate of fire is too high, and the magazines are too low. That's why it can only be useful as a secondary. But I was wrong. It far exceeded my expectations. I believe I can actually use the Jupiter as a primary. However, you have to know how to use it. You have to be aggressive and you have to be stealthy. You cannot use it like a Retaliator or a Prophecy or a Cedar. You cannot use it like a Springer, and you cannot use it like an FDL. You have to use your brain. You have such a disadvantage to the other blasters that you have to figure out how to get close enough to make those shots count. So you have to be stealthy, you have to be quiet, you have to listen to where everyone is. And really that's what helped me, was listening for where everyone was, listening to the blasters, listening to when people are reloading and seizing that opportunity. Alright, so that concludes that I was wrong. The Jupiter can be used as a primary. It is an exquisite primary. I think I played better with this Jupiter than my Prophecy, which really surprised me. I was not expecting that. I think I am just becoming very enamored by the full automatics. Anything that's a full automatic, I am beginning to love. I have been completely converted to the flywheel master race. It's just so good. It's just so freaking good. And I don't think I'm going to miss my Springers at all. But here's the other thing I learned today. Put aside the blasters, put aside the beautiful maps. The thing that is the most enjoyable is the people, right? If you don't have the people to play with, if you don't have the beautiful community that we do, then you just can't, like, it just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what blaster you have, you need the community. We have such a beautiful community at Battle Squad. Everyone is so lovely. The new players, the veterans, they're just so much fun to be around. And after the game is over, we stick around and chat. We talk about our blasters, we talk about our lives, and it's just so wonderful. And that's something that I appreciate so much from Battle Squad. And it doesn't matter if you're into cars, it doesn't matter if you're into art, it doesn't matter if whatever hobby you're into. I believe it's the community that makes it. It's not the actual hobby that makes it. So I just feel so blessed to be a part of Battle Squad. I feel so blessed to have all the players, to see them every week and to be a part of each other's lives. And yeah, that concludes it for the day.